Hey, hey, hey. What's happening, y'all? How you making out? Welcome to another installment of the Crash Bang Boom Podcast New Orleans Drummer Series, where I catch up with drummers that were hugely influential to me growing up. You know, back in the days when I was getting my mind blown by some badass motherfuckers. A.P.Gonzalez is definitely one of those bad motherfuckers, and was an absolute drum idol of mine growing up, and I was crazy about his New Orleans band Lump, who I saw a lot in the early to mid-90s. And we get into his original band, Black Problem, his love for the Minutemen. Great stories about him going out to Los Angeles during the riots to record with SST band Universal Congress of, and the subsequent tours that went down in Europe. The forming of Lump and his new band, Alpha Sardine. So yeah, it was a wild and nostalgic talk for sure, and it was awesome catching up with him. Shout out to my sponsor, New Orleans Record Press. If you love vinyl and are thinking of releasing some of your music on vinyl, look no further than NewOrleansRecordPress.com. The first locally owned and operated full-scale vinyl production house. You can check out vinyl coloring options or even transparent vinyl if you like, and get real-time quotes from the quote generator. So put out some vinyl already. The kids are eating it up. It's what everybody's going crazy about. I myself am a vinyl lover, and I'm okay with that. So without further ado, here we go, y'all. A.P.Gonzalez. Crash, bang, boom.
Crowds go mad with joy.
All right, I'm here with my buddy A.P.Gonzalez, one of my favorite drummers growing up, man. It's good to catch up with you and interview you again.
All right, brother.
Well, man, it's good catching up with you. It's been a beautiful, the weather here in New Orleans has been amazing.
Yeah,
it's like
it's been nice.
Sunny and 70s every day.
I know.
This is insanity.
Yeah.
Man, I realized I was driving here and I was like, I don't really know the story about how... well, I guess I'll start here for the people listening to this. AP was in a band, the Black Problem, back in the day that was pretty influential for a lot of...
I think it's just called Black Problem.
Just Black Problem. That was quite influential.
My first interview, I'm gonna be an asshole.
It was a super influential band for a bunch of bands that I was influenced by in the 90s, one of which your other bands, Lump, was a huge influence to me. How did you end up playing in Black Problem with Lou and those guys? How'd that band start?
Well, I grew up with Louis
Thevenot,
the guitar player, and he was a guitar player in Black Problem. He's in Alpha Sardine now, and he's in Norco Lapalco. He plays guitar and sings. But I grew up with him. He's from the neighborhood. We grew up in Metairie.
Yeah.
And, just from the neighborhood, and my brothers were into, that's when punk and new wave started happening. And Lou was into that. His brothers, Devo, Elvis Castello.
Oh, yeah.
The Jam, Gang of Four, all that stuff. So they were friends. And I'm this little kid. I was young. I was probably about 12 before we moved.
Yeah.
And I think Louis said something like, I told Louis I was going to play drums. So
you don't remember what originally led you to even wanting to play drums?
Well, I've always been tapping on shit. But I really didn't start playing drums till my brother, we lived in Houston. We moved to Houston. My dad got transferred.
Yeah.
So that was about 1981. And we spent about 5 years till he passed away.
Okay.
But one day my brother brought home, my brother's a great bass player. His name's Eric Gonzalez. And he's a multi-musician. He came home with a set of Vista lights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, he just let me play him. I just started from there.
Wow.
So every time he would constantly sell a certain bass to get another bass and, get a set of drums. He's really good at that kind of stuff. So he was always bringing in, drums, then taking them away to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
So I got tired of that. So I just ended up buying my own kit.
Yeah.
But I started playing, grew up listening to punk rock music, early 80s. Started playing in a band called Polish Soul with some high school friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we were good. We were really good. Did some gigs. like basic, your first band, play any way you can.
Exactly.
Write all original.
Mm-hmm.
It's all original material. Really, for a hardcore thrash band, it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
So we did that for a while until my dad passed away. We moved back home. Lewis, I'm talking about like within the first week, I think, Lewis calls me up. You still playing drums? I'm like, yeah, I'm playing drums. So let's jam. Let's play some music.
Yeah.
So, and it was great because Lewis was working at Come Back In. Oh, he's back there part-time now.
Oh, really?
His son's at Loyola,
Wow.
Pierre. So he's trying to scrape up his pennies. But we used to practice there when they closed.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was great because they had a tap, all the beer you can drink and food and shit like that. And we just totally took advantage of it.
Really?
But
Y'all set up in
yes.
Wow.
And that's in Metairie. That's on West Metairie, in Metairie.
Yeah.
So we started there. That was the beginnings of Black Problem.
Gotcha.
And then
what were y'all listening to at the time? Because that
Minutemen. I was into hardcore, and I was totally into like Bad Brains, Minutemen.
Yeah.
But Jam, The Clash, Devo, and then Zeppelin and Hendrix.
Sure. I think y'all had some New Orleans influences too, that are even some more obscure ones like James Blood Ulmer and stuff like that. That would start to come
for me.
through.
That came later.
That was more lump.
Yeah, because and now I'll tell you a little story about that.
Yeah.
When we were in Black Problem, our friend Brad Brewster, how we got to know him because we did our first show as Black Problem at Jimmy's. And there's this song on Double Nickels, and it has the cool drum beat. Boom, boom, chick, ding, boom, boom,
Yeah.
So I did that, and Brad goes, I swear I can remember it. Brad's in the crowd, and he's like, yeah! He just starts screaming. And we got to be friends. But he turned me on really to the meters and a lot of New Orleans stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, and that's, then I turned Lewis onto some stuff.
Right.
Lewis turned me on to certain types of music.
Of
Lewis
course.
likes all kinds of music, the same as with me.
Right.
And then I think more the James Blood Ulmer was Universal Congress of.
Oh, okay.
Joe
Interesting.
Biden turned me on to them.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
When you were doing Black Problem, what was the scene like back then? Because what
remember,
years are we talking?
Shit, man, I'm talking about maybe 88.
Right, that's
86,
what it would be.
87?
Yeah.
It just seemed like Dash Rip Rock were really popular, and I hated it. There were some really great bands, local bands, and one of them was Rosicrucians, who I love to this day, which was Lloyd, Renard, Jules, and Joey.
Lloyd, who
Roderick.
Yes.
From Evil or Sheila.
That's right, which was another awesome local band.
And when I met those guys, man, that's when like I said, I moved back. So I didn't really have too many friends, man. I just said, man, these guys, they're great. And it was so weird and unique.
Yeah.
I loved them. But as far as back then, there weren't a lot of bands that were really to my liking.
Right.
I'm not saying they're not good.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. You were on your particular trip. You were wanting to play some high energy punk rock shit.
I didn't, whatever. I'd play anything. I just wanted to play, but there was a lot of shitty bands, I thought. And people, college crowds, a lot of that shit's hazy memory.
Right. Yeah.
But it didn't seem like a big, unless no one came to our gigs.
Right.
But it was kind of a smaller, scene.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Especially, and New Orleans is such a roots music town, and it drives the economy, so it's always been hard for any bands.
But
there was
the punk scene and the hardcore bands would come down, but we weren't hardcore.
Right.
We were a little different.
Right.
Because we weren't a thrash hardcore band.
Right. You're talking like the Shell Shock and Exhorder and those
guys,
bands. Right.
I'd see them at the shows and they were cool and we talked to them, but that wasn't our thing.
Right.
Because we were, like I said, we were really starting to get into more of a Minutemen, a little bit more backbeat stuff.
Broken shards of green glass as he looked for unscratched lottery tickets.
at which point, and it's an amazing story, I'd love to hear you tell it, you started playing with Universal Congress of the band from California that was signed to SST Records, right?
Joe Biza.
And you went out to record a record with them. Tell me about that experience the timing of going out to record that record.
Well, Universal Congress of played here like 87 maybe, and we all went and saw him at Tips. And I knew Joe from, because I knew Saccharine Trust.
Oh, okay.
Which was in his first SST band.
Gotcha.
And I was really, really excited because, he knows all the Minutemen guys.
Right.
He played on a couple of their records. So, I was, to me, that's the next best thing than seeing the Minutemen,
right.
Which I did see twice in Houston.
That's amazing.
Got to meet them, and they pretty much, I know Mike Watt and George.
Wow.
And I knew Dennis a little bit.
Right.
But anyway, not trying to brag. But so Joe came down, and we hung, they played a great set, It was like really awesome. So it was our little crew of people, and we went to somebody's house who I forgot. And I think Zia Mata or Brad put in a Black Problem tape. And Joe heard it. And I didn't think he was paying attention because everyone was drinking and goofing off. And so I forgot how much longer, maybe a year, maybe less than a year, 6 months. I get a call, and he's like, AP, Joe Biza. I'm like, no, it ain't. He's like, yeah, it's Joe Biza. And I was like, bullshit, somebody's playing a trick. So anyway, he needed a drummer to go on a European tour. He's like, you want to go on a European tour? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And he goes, can you play jazz? I'm like, yeah. And I had no idea what I was doing. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna send you a tape. Listen to these songs. He sent me like 36 songs.
Oh, jeez.
And we spent like maybe, he gave me a ticket, sent me a ticket in the mail. Shoot down to L.A., they picked me up, and I'm scared as a mother. Really nervous. So they picked me up, and we have our first rehearsal. And on that tape, a lot of it was a lot of swing, real high energy, kind of real fast, which I never played in my life. But I listened to it, and I think I understand it, therefore I can play it, right?
Right.
No. So we had the first rehearsal, and I did terrible.
Really?
Because first of all, I was using these big-ass George Hurley drumsticks, these Quantum 9000 Regal tips, which are like marching.
Right.
So, and I blame George Hurley because he gave me one, and I started playing with it, and I got used to those. They were really huge. So I brought those out, and that's what I was playing with, and I couldn't swing with those, so I had to play with smaller sticks. And Joe just said, we can't afford to send you back home practice.
Oh, shit.
So I was like really embarrassed, and nobody liked me. It seemed like everyone was down on me. But I practiced, and boom, I got it.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. Got it, and I ended up doing that was the first tour I did with him. I didn't record with him yet. So we did, and I didn't even know these guys. And I did 10 weeks on the road with them.
Really?
And they were just the best. They were the coolest, funniest. It was just like my brothers. You would love them. They're really laid back, really cool guys, funny guys, great musicians. I learned a lot from them. And like I said, we went all through Germany, Switzerland, Portugal, Hungary, everywhere.
Was that your first time going to Europe?
Yes.
Oh, my God. So this is your first time in Europe. You're on a tour with a band. You got a call. Damn.
I was like crazy. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I couldn't even take it in. It was so crazy.
Wow.
So, and I got some recordings, and it's like really cool stuff, how quick we just kind of gelled with each other.
Right.
I did the tour. And, they want to do a record, so they called me back for the record. So, and that was kind of a drag, but it was like 3 months.
Yeah.
And then the Rodney King riots started,
While you were in L.A.?
While we're in L.A. And I'm like in Joe's neighborhood, living at his house, and he's going to work or staying at his, and he lived in like a really, rough part of town.
Right. And
I used to go to the supermarket to get my whatever I needed, my food. And it was like about 5 blocks away. And it just, I'm talking about wake up, and I remember watching on TV the news, all that shit that went down where that trucker got beat up. And all you could hear was just the helicopters, the gunshots, the car alarms. It was insane. And I walked out because Joe lived in the back of a house, like in the backyard. See, that's his house right there. That shed. Mm-hmm. You go out front, and just people are going nuts, and they're just they're going in and out of the supermarket, just looting it.
Ooh.
It's on fire. I mean, old women walking with their grandchildren.
Right.
Stealing shit.
Yeah.
People, I saw a car, and each one of them had a handout. It was a 4-door.
Uh-huh.
And they had a sofa on the roof. And people were just kicking in jewelry stores.
Right.
Just out in the open.
Right.
And they were just going crazy,
Whoa.
And it was just like, I was like, whoa, this is insane. And turns out Joe and them went down to Compton and all that when it started, and they were just watching it.
Whoa.
And I said, man, that was crazy. But it was insane. I mean, so my brother got scared for me because I was in a crazy neighborhood. And he lived in Silver Lake with his girlfriend.
Right.
And she had a really cool pad, but her backyard was like on this hill, and at night you could see the fire starting up.
LA
Boom.
is burning.
Yeah, LA is burning.
Holy
and there's
shit.
like one over there, boom, then boom, another one pops up, boom, another one pops up. It was insane.
Holy
it was totally
shit.
insane. So I didn't really go out sightseeing. I just
Not so much.
kind of stood in, got out the way of everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a trip. It was, I guess, kind of weird to see that, but did the record with them.
Yeah.
And did that record, and it was fun. It was cool. And then another tour, another 8-week tour of Europe with them.
Wow.
And that was the last time I played with them or did anything with those guys.
That's amazing. I didn't realize that you did a couple of European tours with them.
Yeah.
Do you remember any place in particular that you really loved going through Europe?
I mean, it was so... not one thing really stands out at the moment because it was just all... I just remember, where was it? In Portugal.
Uh-huh.
We had to stay at this guy's house. We did like 3 shows at this one like restaurant. It was really weird. And we had to play kind of low key, and it was like in this really kind of, high class restaurant, and like, we couldn't play loud, and the guy's house we were staying, he was the promoter.
Yeah.
And we and him didn't get along, and he just hated me.
Right.
And he just treated me like shit. And I'm talking to Joe, say, Joe, dude, this dude's an asshole. He's calling me names. He's, treat me like a little kid. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm going to punch him. He's like, yeah, it's good. You punch him, we're going to get kicked out. He's like, come on, man, just put up with it. So I put up with it. But that was the worst place because that guy was an asshole. But other than that, it was all great,
That's fucking wild, man. Flash forward, I guess when you came back from that, is that when you started Lump?
Yes. Came back, I got together with Lou again.
Yeah.
And then that's when Lump, I think.
It would have been early 90s, yeah.
Yeah. So that's when Malcolm was born, my son. Mm-hmm. That's when Lump started happening, I guess.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
early
I think
90s.
'cause 90s, yeah. That's when Lump started happening.
Yeah.
We first started, it was me, Mike Joseph, and Lewis.
Yeah.
And I miss Mike Joseph.
Rest
to
in
death.
peace, Mike Joseph.
Love you, brother. Miss you. So that was the 3 of us. And then I don't know if it's Lewis or came up with an idea to get a horn.
Yeah.
So, because we did do a couple of gigs at just the 3-piece.
Right.
That was getting kind of, we were kind of boring, wanted to move on. So we got the horn player, and Lewis, he says that we went down to Little People's and we saw Ben
Ellman.
Ben Ellman from the Klezmers in Galactic.
Right.
So, and I don't remember none of this, but he said we talked to Ben and got him into it. But I do remember this one story. It was really funny. We used to play at this place called Pepina's. It was on Britannia.
So it's uptown.
So this is the 3-piece before Ben got in the band. And the one gig, Ben shows up. We trying to get him to show up. And I think he did, but me and Mike, because Pepina used to just give us free drinks. And,
right.
All the shit you want to drink. And me and Mike are just, we love you. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But, that was what me and Mike did. Right. We just drank, man. But we had this guy who kind of looked like Ben. So we kept saying, all right, man, we can't wait to, it's for you to bring your horn next time. And he's like, I don't play horn. It's like, yeah, you're the guy. But we're so loaded. We did that to him like 5 times all night.
Oh, my God.
And the guy was just getting totally aggravated. He's like, I don't play horn. I don't know who you think I am, but blah, blah, blah. And so I remember he's leaving, and we're so loaded, and I just totally forgot. And I said, don't forget to bring your horn. He must have thought we were nuts, dude. But anyway, so we got hooked up with Ben, and Ben liked the music we were doing, and that went pretty quick.
Yeah.
That we gelled pretty good on that, and we had some fun times.
Oh yeah, man! I loved Lump, man. It was a crazy hybrid of, once again, some of the Minutemen that y'all were influenced by when doing Black Problem. I think Lump still retained some of that, but it got a little jazzy and weird, and maybe a little bit of meters, and it was such a strange medley of influences, but it was fucking great.
Yeah, well, I grew up with my dad. I remember my dad was he had a jazz record. He was totally into Monk, Miles Davis. He loved Paul Desmond, Modern Jazz Quartet. Mm-hmm. So I remember hearing that, and I remember this one song, and I loved it by Thelonious Monk, and I still love it. It's called Bright Mississippi. And it's such a catchy little, it could be like a toddler's tune or something, It's like, bop, bop, bop. Bop, 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 and the drums come in, and that just seems so fun to play. So in that point, I just started really listening to all kinds of jazz music, jazz. And so Ben was into jazz. Ben brought his
knowledge of jazz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he, I think he's the one who wanted to do the Blood Ulmer tune.
Right.
I could be mistaken, either him or Lewis. But Ben brought in a lot of ideas too.
Yeah.
And he was like really world music type stuff and klezmer music.
Man, didn't you, during the time when you were playing in Lump, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you play for a little while on Bourbon Street?
Oh yeah, that's when I first started.
How was it playing down there?
Oh, it was terrible. It was so bad. I was so excited, when I got my first gig. The Famous Door, dude. And the people are just so weird. The band I was in.
Yeah.
You had to wear black and whites. Do those stupid songs, same, which is I understand. It's for the tourists,
right?
And I'm getting these gigs, man. I'm thinking, I'm gonna learn jazz. I'm gonna learn something,
right?
And
you don't
learn shit, man. You know what you learn? You don't get paid enough for that boring crap. Right. Same fucking songs, same jokes,
right?
Same. And the dude was a kind of a weird guy, James D. He's a nice guy. But he was kind of a weird guy.
Yeah.
And he had this kind of Trump hair on top and long in the back. And he'd say, okay, watch my hands. When I pat my hair in the back, when I pat my mullet, that means bring it down. I'm like, oh my God.
Bring the volume down or the vibe or whatever?
He had all these signs on it. He'd pat his hair or touch his hair a certain way. And he was a good musician, man.
Right.
He played trombone, he played tenor, he played, alto. And then the fucking owner's wife had to sing with us. And she was like this old bat. And she was like, let's go down, boys. I got to talk to the audience. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. So
oh, man.
I knew I was going to get fired because we went from there and we were going to go to the gazebo or something.
Yeah.
And I knew if I didn't wear my black and whites, they'd fire me. So
made it a point to not wear your black and whites.
I wore a white T-shirt and shorts and tennis shoes. And but then after that, I started making – knowing people, and I started playing at the gazebo, the Market Cafe. I played with Doreen on Royal Street. Just anywhere I can get a gig.
Right.
I was really hustling gigs up.
Yeah.
Kind of miss it sometimes, but not really. I don't know. It's not that fun.
Exactly. It's a way to make a living, but in the end, just playing the repetition and the redundancy of it all it's just like, how do you put up with it?
And you know, the money's, I hate to be it, but I was never doing it for the money, but it helps. But when the money's, they just take advantage of you.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You know? And you know, people within the band would steal from you know, they'd steal the tips and not tell you. And
really?
It's like fucking juvenile, drug addict, fucking weirdos, man. You know? But, you know, some learning experience.
Right.
You know.
Got some good stories out of it. I'm digging the guy with the mullet.
Oh, yeah. I remember we playing one time, and I was with Jimmy, what's his name, the guitar player at the gazebo. Anyway, we're playing. He starts at 10:30 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And we're playing. I'm not even awake, dude. And this guy's just watching us. And it's Jerry Springer.
Really?
He's the only one there. Jerry Springer's watching us. And then, so he watches for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then he tips us.
Yeah.
And walks off. And I'm thinking, man, he probably gave us $100. Gave us $5, dude. And one time, Elvis Castello was watching me when I was at, not me, but
yeah,
he was right behind me when I was at the Market Cafe. And when I was at Famous Door, Dave Grohl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dave Grohl?
A long time ago, yeah.
Wow.
He was there.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was weird.
Damn, dude. Well, flash forward, man. What's been going on? I know you got this new band, Alpha Sardine. You got your sister in it. You got Lou in it.
My sister, my brother-in-law, and we got Chicas, Rolando's Chicas from Rigid.
That's right. Well,
Great
another
baseball.
Awesome band back in the 90s.
Scott Guyon.
Rolando is a killer bass player.
Killer bass player.
You got the dual Mexican.
Well, it's 3/4 because you know 3/4 Mexican with my sister.
There you go, 3/4.
Boys ain't got a chance, man. But yeah, so we're doing that, and it's a lot of fun. It's back to the rock and roll, high energy rock.
Yeah,
bringing back our roots.
I hear you. It all comes full circle at one point or another, doesn't it?
We just got to practice a little bit more. But we're in the midst of recording some stuff. And
cool.
Just trying to see what a CD would be like, how it would sound.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I hope it lasts a little while.
Absolutely. Congrats on your sobriety, man. Stop drinking. A year in the making.
Yeah, brother, it's coming up.
Holy
I know.
shit.
I told that when I went to the doctors today. It's the first time I ever said it to somebody. They gave me the medication for my back, and she goes, you can't drink or smoke. And I said, you know what? I don't drink. And I was like, wow, that feels weird. But thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, shit, AP, it was awesome talking to you. Great hearing some stories. I look forward to hearing a little Alpha Sardine at some point.
Right on. And Jody, I miss your drumming a lot, man. You're the man.
I appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
I look forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Right on. Please do.
Right on, AP.
All right, Jody. Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, as always. Many thanks to A.P.Gonzalez for being a rad dude, and it was great catching up with him and shooting the shit, as it were. Stay tuned for more episodes. Always trying to put these out on Monday. If you haven't already, subscribe on iTunes or subscribe on my YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Got many more of these coming. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Crash, bang, boom.
Off the hair of my chinny chin chin. My cup runneth over again. secret cave for me to sleep in, a mountain for me to climb. The Lord maketh me to lie down in your green pastures, so we can spill a little wine. I want, but I know I don't deserve. Blessed is the beauty at the bottom of your bell curve. I drink loving dollops from your double dipping ladle. Oh man, they cut off my cable.